Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Lunch Munch Show with Andrew on Relax Radio, where we have 2 hours in, and it's 12, and you know, uh, it's Monday to Friday, every day between 12 and 2. So we have a good time over here. And today I bring you a good friend of mine, and uh, we've been together since we've been friends for a while, and she's out here doing big things. And but I mean, when I mean big things, I mean big things. And it's interesting for somebody who's out here doing their thing, uh, as a woman first and foremost, and as but we look at each other as human beings first of all, and then we go to gender, and then we go to ethnicity. And but you know what, the bloodstream is red. So it's good, it's nice that way. Anyway, I'll let her into the show, and she introduces herself, and we get things popping for the next 30 minutes. So if you've got anything that you want to ask, or just fill up the comment section with whatever you have in mind. She's an entrepreneur. She's doing things. Mhm. Hello, hello. Mhm.
Hi, hi. Thank you for having me, Andrew.
Yep. How's things going?
Going well. It's going well. I'm excited to be here and excited to be talking to you and your viewers today.
Yeah. I'm glad you're here to share this space, and show what's going on in your life, and share the ideas and how getting rich and being an entrepreneur works.
Amen.
Yeah. God be to I receive. The presence is blessing the
Oh, wow.
yeah. So tell us what's been going on, and what's happening with you, and what's nice about the cosmetics, and the shops, and the life, and the Mm.
Okay, so first and foremost, thank you so much for having me on. I really do appreciate it. My name is Temi, for anyone out there who hasn't seen me or is wondering. My name is Temi Oni. I am a qualified occupational therapist. I'm also a life coach and also the founder of I'm a Sony Cosmetics.
Mm.
So I kind of have always been interested in the idea of blazing my own trail. I like
Mm.
the idea of, entrepreneurial journey. And I suppose that's why I'm here to really talk about my story and how I got started. So thank you for having me.
Yep. It's good to know some of these things. I mean, somebody has to start somewhere. I mean, we're
Yeah.
all here trying to uh, get things done, but for capital, we need to. I mean, I'm sure you've had the mindset to do big things, like you're saying, but
Yeah.
had to get the money from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like all you young girls still remain at uni, because
Mm.
at some point you need to get a job, and then get the money, and then put that money into, convert your ideas with that money. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think when I first initially started, and Andrew would know this, when I first started, I launched my cosmetics brand, I'm a Sony Cosmetics, when I was in my early 20s. I feel like I'm showing my age now, but I was literally in my early 20s. I had just come out of university. I studied psychology as an undergrad. And I was working at the time in Broadmoor, which is Britain's highest psychiatric hospital. And I'd always been into kind of like, psychology and health. But at the same time, there's a part of my personality that was always interested in the entrepreneurial journey, the idea
Mm.
of building something out of nothing. And I've always been exposed to, business and property and all these different sort of entrepreneurial networks through my dad. So I suppose he kind of cultivated that kind of part of my personality as well. And so I suppose when I started my cosmetics brand, I was working. And what I did was I didn't have much capital. I didn't have any connections. I didn't even know what I was doing, if I'll be honest with you. I started just with a little bit. So you don't have to have everything when you start. You just have
Mhm.
to kind of start, take the first step. So
Uh-huh.
when I started, I only launched with 100 makeup brushes and they sold out in the first
Oh.
year, which was great.
Uh-huh.
Um, After that, that's when I then built, right? So I took the first step. I started with 100 makeup brushes. They sold out. I
Uh-huh.
gained a lot of, momentum there. I then reinvested that capital back, and I then started to expand my collection. And
Mhm.
we then came out with liquid lipsticks. So
Uh,
the I'm Only liquid lipsticks, they did fantastic. And then we then went on again to launch eyeshadow palettes and mink lashes and things like that. So it really is about building and taking it step by step.
yeah. Yeah, it's a long way. It's sometimes what happens is with most of us is that patience is not we are so caught up in the whole get rich quick
Mhm.
scheme, and
Yeah.
Instagram is not doing anything. We see people looking nice and we want to look like them, and you
Mm.
know you're doing a little business, and then you think, let me, because you've seen someone put on bottles, you decide, you
Mm.
know what, let me use the little money that I was the small profits that I was making, instead
Yeah.
of going bigger
Yeah. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
spend. Uh,
Yeah. I agree with that. I think that actually, so do you know, Andrew, I have like a love-hate relationship with Instagram because I
mhm,
can't knock it. I built I'm Only Cosmetics from
uh,
Instagram. So when
uh,
we initially launched, we launched on Instagram. That's what we used, right?
oh,
And that's how we gained a lot of exposure, brand visibility,
mm,
orders internationally. But at the
ah,
same time, Instagram can be, if it's not used the right way, it can also be quite destructive, especially for like the mental health of young ladies. It can be quite destructive and actually unhelpful. So it's really about using Instagram as a tool as
uh,
opposed to allowing it to kind of use you or infiltrate your own mind or things like that.
yeah. But then, like you were saying, how you used Instagram to market because you knew who you are targeting, and mostly it's the people on Instagram who are doing it for the gram, and they want to look nice, and so I mean,
Mm.
going through the pictures of other people looking nice, then you run into the cosmetics, and then you think,
Mm.
this is good. So I think
Yeah.
that's a clever way to sort of market your product, and the
Mm.
cyberspace is a good and a bad, like you were
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
one thinks, do you know what? Let me try something on the cyberspace. Then it's like some people get caught up in the cyberspace. So it's
Yeah.
all about how you understand and how you carry yourself on that platform.
Mm. I agree with that. I think that's a fair comment. And
Mm,
I also think that it's funny because when I launched my cosmetics,
mhm.
I initially thought I would be launching it and be gaining I suppose, an audience of UK or females based in the UK. But
Uh-huh.
actually, that wasn't the case for me. That was not my story.
Oh,
When I launched, I actually kind of garnered or gathered quite a large Italian Caucasian audience, which was quite difficult for me because obviously, if I be honest, I'm a black female living in the UK.
mhm.
I'm trying to create a cosmetics brand and
Yeah.
I'm wanting to create it for people who look like me. But in terms of like the audience that I actually cultivated and that were attracted to my products and have raved about it and pushed it and bought it and have been ambassadors for my brand, they
Uh-huh.
look nothing like me and they are like how many miles across the surface of the earth on the other side. And it really made me realize that actually I had to think less linear and I had to kind of open up my own mind to say that actually if I'm putting products out there, it's not going to just attract, it might not even attract people that I think it should attract, right?
Mm,
So that's kind of like a good thing about social media, and it can work in a positive or a negative way. It's about how you channel it. and also being quite open. Like I, as a business owner, especially with the cosmetics industry, I had
Mhm.
to be quite open that actually my products might be might be actually attracting a clientele that I might not have the same kind of cultural or beauty kind of
Yeah,
connection, but that's irrespective. I'm building a business. I'm trying to serve people with the products, with quality products. So that was an interesting part of my journey, if I'll be honest.
yeah. I suppose it's at that point where you thought, why me? And you had to go back to the drawing board instead to, figure out like, what is it that they want from me? Like, what am I doing right? And
Mhm.
why them reaching out instead of the
Yeah.
actual target audience? Mhm,
Yeah, and it's funny because when I actually launched, I grew a lot of momentum very quickly.
mhm,
So I had my first wholesale order from Jordan. I
mhm,
had never like I'm a brand new independent cosmetic indie brand on Instagram. I had no idea of wholesale orders and different countries and customs and tax and VAT and profit margins. And I'm not, it would have been a lot easier if I had it from the UK, right? But I started off pretty much international. So I
international.
had sales coming from the UK. I did have a few sales from the UK, but a lot of them were from the USA, from Bulgaria, Germany, Italy,
Mhm,
Jordan, France. We've had sales from all over, from literally all over. And I think it's really taught me that actually, when you put yourself out there, you can't always control the
Yeah.
result that I personally wanted it to be more of a UK brand,
Mhm,
and it's not been the case. And I think that's it. I suppose part of it is also about being flexible. And again, a lot of this I learned. I didn't actually have any knowledge, to be fair. I didn't go to business school. I didn't go to university to study BA or business.
mhm,
So I had to learn a lot of this on the ground. And I think Instagram really helped to give me that visibility. It
mhm,
also helped me to build a community that actually loved the cosmetic. So we still get a lot of emails, mainly from Italian ladies who want to try our cosmetics, who want to promote our cosmetics, who would like to purchase or things like that. And I
mhm.
think what it's taught me is about how do we as a brand um, be flexible and kind of change depending on who's actually interested in what we're providing, as well as obviously, growing to, garner a different audience or a different market as well.
Okay, let's quickly go on a short break and then we'll continue with the conversation.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah, you were still saying how the way things turned out made you also like we were saying how you had to go back to the drawing board and start to
Mm.
figure out how best way to work things out and yeah, having started off as making something for the your people community, and then all of a sudden it's being appreciated by people who are not the people that you thought of. It
Yeah.
reminds me it reminds me of the statement that you are only accepted away from your people. The statement that Jesus was only the people that he was yeah. Then you start to but then it's interesting how when things start to move and then your own people start to think that you are a sellout.
Mm,
It's like,
mm,
I had this in your doorstep and
mm.
you didn't think that it was good enough, and
Yeah, yeah,
appreciate it because somebody else appreciates it
yeah,
through
yeah,
you, and
yeah.
yeah. So
And
do you sell some of your product to people in Ghana? Mhm,
so I have to be honest, I haven't had I've had so okay, so we've had orders from places like, for example, Nigeria, We've had a lot of orders. I think the thing that's been quite difficult is logistics. As a small brand, or as a still an up and coming brand, the logistics of getting that product over to Nigeria and other kind of countries like Ghana has
Yeah.
been quite a challenging process. But I
Yeah.
think the way that we try to cater for new markets is about really going to different events. So we've been to, for example, Pop Brixton events, which is obviously Brixton is a very multi
Yeah.
cultural and diverse area. Also word of mouth. So I'm not saying that people of my color have never bought or purchased. They have. In fact, they were the initial people
Mm,
before social media to purchase a lot of cosmetics, but a lot
mm,
of that was obviously word of mouth and kind of
yeah.
referral kind of purchases. But if I think about when we launched properly and we tried to
Mm,
do it more officially online,
mhm,
obviously we kind of garnered more of an international audience. But of course, we've had sales from the USA and also from the UK, from people from diverse backgrounds.
mm,
But again, a lot of the social media attention has come from more of an Italian
mm.
Caucasian audience, and I think that's probably more connected with my name. So I'm a Sony sounds like quite an Italian name as
All
well.
right. All right.
Um,
Yeah. 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 I see how you did that. Yeah. Yeah. Now that you say that, it makes
I
so much.
The funny thing is, I didn't do it, was not intentional. That is literally my name. And
I know.
before we had the cosmetics brand, Andrew, I
Mm,
used to have an Instagram called I'm Missoni. And
uh,
I built it to like, I think 5K followers. And
yeah.
all it was just an account of selfies and people like, oh, she's so pretty. I like her picture. And I deleted it. I just got rid of it because I was like, I'm not actually, making any money from this. I'm just having loads of people comment and like on my pictures. So
Mm,
that's where I thought actually I would take that same handle that I used to build that account of 5K, and I
mm,
would actually create it into a cosmetics brand, which was just natural and organic. And it's so funny that I didn't even realize that it would, you know, garner an Italian audience, so to
mm,
speak. And it's funny because one of my photographers is
mm.
actually Italian himself. And before he actually met me face to face, he
All
said,
right.
I thought you'd be Italian because your name, the brand. And I was like, wow, I
Mm,
didn't even think of I didn't even think about this.
interesting. Yeah. So yeah, it's so interesting to hear some of this, and uh, what what makes it different? What do you think? What was your say? I'm looking to do this cosmetic, and
Mm,
what did you think to make it different from what's already on the market?
yeah. Okay, that's a good question. I think the thing that really stood us out, and you have to remember the context of the time that I started. So I launched in 2016, and
Mhm,
that was when um, a lot of obviously indie brands, there weren't that many
yeah,
cosmetic indie brands at that time. And so I think I launched number one at a really good time. I also think that the sort of products that I launched were good quality and also very attractive. I spent a lot of money into, or I put a lot of money into photography because I knew that if my cosmetics were photographed, in a very attractive and unique way, that
mm,
was kind of garner a lot of interest. So,
mm,
we did a lot of, for example, flat layers, which wasn't really happening that much at the time. But
mm,
on top of all of that, really building a community,
mm,
we did that through a lot of giveaways. So we did a lot of giveaways. We did a lot of interaction with the actual audience. We built up quite a large
mm,
um, what's it called? An email list, for example.
mm,
And we did also a lot of ambassador campaigns and ambassador partnerships, which basically really meant a lot of brand awareness. So we
mm.
would have, for example, we'd do things like, if you purchase an I'm Only lipstick, take a picture of it and we will repost you on Instagram. But we
Ah,
had a lot of ladies like holding I'm Only lipsticks, like, look, I'm part of the beauty
yeah,
campaign, I'm part of the beauty army. and that would then what basically gain a lot of everyone wants to kind of be on a trend, I suppose. Then
yeah,
we'd get other people purchasing or other people asking to work with us, and that's how we built a momentum by basically reposting other people's content with our products. And that was how we really gained a following and awareness.
yeah. That's cool. I'm sure with time you might get a little Amazonis beehive and
Oh my gosh, you're so funny.
have your own people following, and things, anything that comes out there, the notification gang. I'm actually a notification gang. This
Okay.
even
Oh,
that you got on YouTube, I get a
oh,
notification that you've you
launch
yeah
a new video.
yeah yeah, the times in you was jogging in the park during what's this, during COVID times, the times when you was out there in Malta, and
Yeah. And Andrew is a true follower. He's a true, genuine supporter. Thank you.
yeah. I mean, it's only good that you keep it within the circle.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
that are within the circle, you need to push them up as much as possible, and that sort
I
of thing.
think I think I think that's a fair point, but I also think, Andrew, that it's also about going to rather than trying to gain a new market. Like when we think about a business, rather than trying to kind of put a lot of ads and marketing and energy in gaining a new market, why not take the less kind of strenuous route by going to the market that's naturally attracted to
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
So that's
yeah,
also a good way of doing it. But I personally just had to mentally, understand that okay, I am serving people who are miles away, who I might not really understand their culture, and I am not their color, but it doesn't matter because I've had some fantastic feedback from Caucasian Italians saying, I love this brand. It is, it's run by an amazing black black British female, and it's just awesome. And it's like it's funny because sometimes we put barriers in front of our own way, and
exactly.
actually it's not actually always a barrier for other people. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's been an interesting journey. It's been difficult, but it's definitely been really, really rewarding. And I also wanted to touch upon, Andy,
yeah,
um, a new kind of initiative that I've been working on recently. So I'm an entrepreneur at the end of the day.
yeah.
And yes, I launched a cosmetics brand, but recently I've been getting into life coaching. In 2020, in the pandemic, I supported hundreds of people through
Nice.
a very stressful period. And I am so excited to say that I've launched the Lifestyle Redesign course, which is my first ever online course, which is really designed to help you restructure and redesign your life from the inside out. It's a passion of mine, and I definitely wanted to share it. So,
You're
yeah.
not stopping, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm not. There's
Stop.
so much more to
It's
do.
a good thing. Yeah. Let us know how is that going. What is, tell people what it's about and what do you do and how you know.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So behind the scenes, I'm a qualified occupational therapist. I have specialized into mental health. In 2020, I got an amazing opportunity on a contract to support hundreds of people through really stressful situations. In that, I really realized, I suppose, my passion of supporting, coaching, mentoring, understanding, but also kind of planning a strategy to help people to redesign, literally redesign their life from the inside out. So a lot of people that were coming to me had depression, anxiety, they might have had, breakups, lifestyle issues, you know, things like that. And I really worked with them over a series of months to actually improve their outcomes. And by the end of those months, they had, achieved their goals. They'd gone on to, get new jobs. They'd gone on to literally develop healthier routines and patterns. And that was literally because of the course that I had piloted on them called the Lifestyle Redesign course. So the course is comprised of 7 comprehensive and holistic sessions.
Mhm.
So they are literally, it's not just about, changing your circumstances and changing yourself from the outside, but we delve deep. So because long-lasting change is really about change that starts deep within.
Mhm.
If you think about a new year resolution, how
Uh-huh.
many people actually keep those resolutions? Like, how many people actually keep going with them?
I know.
By
It's
by end of January, you're eating that chocolate. You stopped going to the gym. You
mm,
put on the weight.
mm,
The resolution's gone out the window. So what I try to do is look more internal and look into things. I don't want to give everything away, but we look into like the internal aspects like self-discovery. We
mhm.
look into a lot of things that actually are kind of acting as mental barriers for us to actually achieve our goals and achieve the things that we actually want to achieve in life. So that's where I am right now. And it's been such a rewarding experience. It is, yeah, I love it.
Let us go on a short break and you come and continue your something. It's it's I'm thinking, so in if for instance, if somebody had a situation where they get say they having trouble at home about certain things, they could come to
Mm.
you and you tell them
Mm.
to do one, two, three.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I do as an occupational therapist.
Okay, okay. So just hold that thought. We're coming back to you. We coming back. Uh,
There will be times in your life where you'd rather hide or run or bury your head in the sand than face whatever challenge is in your way. Haven't we all been there at some point in our lives? Unfortunately, none of us are immune to tragedy, and you feel as if though you are running on a track, fast-paced, struggling to catch your breath. How about in those moments, you remember to be brave and show courage in the face of failure and difficulty? But don't sunsets remind us that some endings can be beautiful too?
okay, okay. Yeah, we're back, and you was still telling us that if I come to you and say, Tammy, I have a situation right here. Me and my wife is going through a hard time. She says this and that, and I'm thinking this and that. So what do you say about it? Would you be like, would you be able to sit down maybe with a couple and
Mhm.
go through hear their stories and try to show them how maybe the best way you can.
Yeah, so okay, so a lot of the work that I've done has been more one-to-one. However, since launching my lifestyle business, I have had consultations with married couples as well. So that's gained me more experience. What I would do is actually complete an assessment with you, because how do we know what the answer is? How do we know how to solve an issue if we haven't fully understood what the issue is, where the issue is stemming from, and how long the issue has been there for? A lot of the times we're trying to get a quick fix, but we're not actually delving deeper to see where is it actually coming from. Because sometimes one thing that I would say is that from my experience from being an occupational therapist, I look my whole job, the reason why I make the money I make and the experiences that I have is because I'm looking to see where people's life is actually bringing them mental distress and dissatisfaction. And it's kind of like a chicken and egg question. Does poor mental health impact your life, or does your life impact your mental health? And you begin to realize that they both affect each other. So when I look at people that have, for example, a diagnosis of depression, I'm looking to see where is it coming from, how long has it been there, have they been clinically diagnosed by a psychiatrist, by a GP, are they on medication, are they having counseling, therapy, um, I look to see their lifestyle routines. So are they exercising? Have they put on a lot of weight? Have they lost a lot of weight? Have they got a good diet? All the kind of, I suppose you would think, normal stuff. But you see, the thing is, when you become more trained in it, you begin to see, oh, okay, that's where their mental health is impacting their life. And you'll find that a lot of us felt low in the pandemic because, not just because of that we're in a pandemic, but because of how the pandemic impacted our lifestyle. And
Yeah.
so the truth is that if your lifestyle can impact you on an emotional and on a mental level, then you can actually redesign your life with, obviously, with intentionality and with obviously understanding how you best operate to actually serve you in a way that propels you into your goals, into your dreams, into having a better standard and quality of living. And this is not based on just, doing anything generic. This is based on a personal assessment of, of your own life. And that's what I'm kind of skilled in doing. And that's what the lifestyle redesign course is really about. It is literally a piloted course that has been, those sessions took me almost 6 to 8 months to get that quality of work for those clients. And I've compressed it down into a seven session course for
Okay.
people.
Okay.
I could go on about it. I love it.
Yeah, we it's really touching, and it's interesting what you're saying, because what you're saying is it's uh, with life comes, you mentioned the whole mental health and lifestyle, is it affecting? So then one has to think that, because I never really thought about that, I never
Mm,
saw that in a way. So it's like, it's affecting, because the outside things actually influence how you operate,
yeah,
and what you think is what influences how you deal with the outside
yeah,
beats.
yeah.
So um, it's a circle. So if you sort of understand the circle, then you're in a better off place. And I mean,
Yeah.
because I say to myself, the three things that are important in my life are how I sleep, where I sleep, and what I eat, and how I travel. So
Mm,
yeah, so those three things are important in my life. So
mm,
as I've been monitoring those things, it's my life has been not easier, but it's been more manageable and it's more
mm,
pleasant. And
mm.
so it will be interesting to actually know how the 7 sessions go.
Mm.
What do they comprise of?
Okay, so the course comprises of 7 sessions. So we look into self-discovery in the first session. And
Mhm.
self-discovery, we go deep. So we look into, one thing that I would say about self-discovery is that if I was to say, oh, Andrew is a black man,
Mhm.
that is not a self-discovery because anybody could have told you that. So
Yeah.
self-discovery is information about yourself that's not easily attainable by the outside person or even by yourself. It takes a level of introspection, going deeper, because if I'm going to redesign my life, I need to know more about myself so that I'm designing it in a way that is actually going to make my potential manifest.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So we look at self-discovery, we look at self-care. A lot of people are talking about self-care on social media, but we look into what I've coined the 4 quadrants of self-care activity. A lot of us think that self-care is about going to a spa or going out to eat or going on holiday. And whilst I agree, I love all those things myself. If we are not fully understanding of what true self-care is, we can still be in self-neglect. So we look into self-care. We also look into SMART goals and action planning, because I'm not just about talking about periphery things. I'm also about action. I'm also about results, and I'm also about goals. So we look into goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Again, everybody's goal that I set for somebody else might be different to another person, because what's realistic for one person might not be for another. So we look into that.
Mhm.
We also look into occupational life areas. So what you said about, having specific areas of your life that you concentrate on is important. But there are specific areas of our life that we need to focus on. And if we don't focus on it, we can be in occupational neglect, or what we call occupational deprivation. So, for example, work is an occupation. Travel could be an occupation. Healthy eating is another occupation. Let's say someone focuses more on their work than they do on their social life.
Mm-hmm.
That is occupational imbalance, which can also lead to mental health issues in the future. Research has shown that healthcare professionals are more likely to experience depression because of poor occupational life balance, which means that they're excessively worked.
Mm-hmm.
We also look into positive self affirmations and beliefs. We
Mm-hmm.
also look into addressing negative thought patterns and cycles, because how can you obtain new results? How can you break down mental barriers
Mm-hmm.
if you haven't let go of those negative cycles, patterns, you know? So we look into that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we also look into, I forgot, I haven't actually been keeping account of how many sessions, how many things I've been saying, but
I think
um,
you're free at the moment.
another session that we look into is the relaxation
Mhm,
session with a visualization, a guided visualization session. So that's more about relaxing. That's helpful for people who experience stress, anxiety, and also depression as well. I thought that this course is so unique. I haven't seen anything like it on the market. But
mhm,
not only is it just unique, it's actually garnered and gained tangible results for people. I also offer this as a program, so not just as a course. So the course element allows people to go and, you know, I suppose go through the pre-recorded course by themselves. The
mhm,
program element gives you the pre-recorded course, but also live sessions with myself embedded over several months. It's more effective,
mhm,
and it's more likely to get you more effective results.
mhm. Okay, I think I might be able to find myself engaged in some of your course so that maybe I could uh, recommend and be able to see if what you're saying is true. I believe you, but it's just that sort of want that satisfaction too, because what you're saying to me is really getting to me. Like it's I
Mm,
think I would like this. So it's one of those things where I want to satisfy my wanting to
mm,
eventually come to a point where I say, I know, you know what, I appreciate you.
mm.
Come over here for a proper thank you. You know,
Oh, no, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
yeah. So it's such things that people overlook. Uh,
Mm,
say it's like when you mentioned that the care industry has a sort of imbalance because the way it's structured, it's per hour. So
mm,
the psychology is I want the hours to a point where you don't balance your
mm,
social life. And you
mm.
find that in many cases, operation becomes sort of down because you people when I used to when I used to work in the setting in the care setting,
Yeah.
you'd find that people are canceling on the weekend
Mm,
or people are showing up not themselves on the weekend.
yeah.
So it's like because the psychology is the hours, but your mind is not allowing you to actually
Mm.
fulfill the want.
Yeah. And do you know what, Andrew? One thing that I've always said in my coaching sessions to clients is that there are two levels of living.
Mhm,
Now, this is going to get a bit deep. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I just want to say this to you and your viewers that there are two levels of living. In
mhm,
in level one, or in stage one, you have what we call the survival mode. Survival mode is people, and we all, I'm not saying this in a derogatory way. I've lived this way, we all live this way. There's a part of survival mode for every human being. So in stage one, people who find themselves in this stage are literally just in survival mode. I go to work, I then come back, I have to pay the bills, I then need to go shopping, I then need to go and do X, Y, and Z, I then repeat the cycle. It's like the rat race of life.
Yeah.
And that one thing I found in that aspect, there is no level of fulfillment in stage one. Stage two level of living is you still have the survival element. Everybody, no matter your color, your creed, your financial status, everyone has to have that aspect of life. But in stage two, there is a higher level of functioning whereby you understand your purpose, you understand self-discovery, you have more self-awareness, you understand your triggers, you understand your coping mechanisms. You can then actually provide value to people based on your own level of self-discovery, you see. And that's where money then begins to work for you, as opposed to you working for money by the hour in stage one. And I think that's the difference. That's the bit that we all need to jump over to stage two.
Hmm. You know what? That touched me in a certain way. I never realized, you know,
Yeah,
how, um, that if you are able to self-discover,
yeah.
then you are able to operate. It's
On a higher frequency. I honestly, I was not like this myself.
mm,
Like if I would have spoken to you or met you in, let's say, my mid-teens, my
mm,
mid or early teens, I had no idea where I was going. I had no direction in life. I did not look like this. I did not operate like this. I did not think this way. I think part of it has been personal development. Personal development is a lifelong journey. And this is why I try not to market the lifestyle redesign course just for mental health, because
mm,
it also operates as a personal development course.
mm,
Personal development has helped me in many ways than I can articulate. I would also say, obviously, my personal faith and being a Christian and having a personal relationship with God has definitely been in there. And also understanding who I really am, because when we don't know who we really are, the giftings, the skills, the abilities that we possess,
yeah.
how can I then understand my full potential and build something that I know I can build and I know I can serve people from? You have to almost dig down inside of you to then bring up value for other people.
Yeah. Let's go on a quick break and then we'll come back on the last run.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, this time I'll have to brace myself and listen very, because never underestimate any of information that you're being told. It's
Oh.
it's I hope people who are going to have a look at this see all this information that you've been saying.
Mm.
Really interesting and eye-opening, because
Oh, thank
um,
you.
it's when you said that you have to discover yourself. It's I used to approach life in a on in a way that I have to set boundaries. Uh,
Mm,
well, fair enough, it's still part of life, but if when you set boundaries, you sort of are able to know what's okay for you and what's not.
mm,
Because when you are when you're cool, when you're sort of cool with anything, anything
mm.
goes. And
Yeah.
once you sort of put your mind to say, I want to do this,
Mm,
anything that's not part of what's going that part of the direction, it's
mm.
a no-no.
Yeah.
So but then I think one needs to self-discover deep
Mm.
to
Yeah.
know all the beats about you, all the corners of you, all the,
Mm,
so that you are able to continue life
mm.
in a way that's almost pure.
Do you know the way that I can explain it? Let's say you're playing PS4 or you've got a PlayStation, right?
Mhm,
You have a specific mission in the
mhm.
game,
Yes.
and you need to select a character that's
Mhm.
going to help you, not to just achieve the mission, but to like thrive and succeed in that mission.
Yes.
Now imagine if you didn't have the character list. You don't know the level of operation. You don't know what that character is capable of. You might be playing below the level of what the character, the full potential that the character has.
Oh
And
my.
that is the way we need to see ourselves. We are characters in this journey of life. This is not a game, but we're in a real life Sims right now. And a lot of us, we don't even know, we haven't tapped down to even know our scores, our ratings, our, the things that we can do, how fast we can run, like how many businesses we can create. It's not about doing loads of stuff, but it's about understanding, who actually am I? Am I operating below my fullest potential? And how do I know that? Like, how do I know that I can even, a lot of people feel like they are afraid, for example, of public speaking. I
Mhm.
used to be that way as well. It's not a comfortable feeling, but there is a level of self-discovery that enables you to know that actually you might have that potential. Like, how do you know?
That's true. That's true. You know, it's you need that in your life. I mean, it's as good as when you're operating, because at the end of the day, it's like what's this? We as a person, you don't know
Mm,
what's going on inside your body.
yeah,
You might
yeah,
walking and walking and walking, but if you don't do those none of them checkups and see anything problem or whatsoever, you end up just falling down, and
yeah,
you
yeah,
don't realize.
yeah, yeah.
It's mad. It's mad. This is I so appreciate you coming through, because
Oh,
it's at this point where it's like, you know what, this is some information that I've been missing all my life.
mm,
It's because also what we need to understand is that we evolve as a people.
yeah,
What
yeah.
you wear at the age of 25 is different from the age of
Mm,
30. It's
mhm,
like there's all these things that it's the more information you get with time, it helps you
mm,
to sort of digest and are able to make decisions that would get you somewhere,
yeah,
or get you thinking in a different way, or
yeah,
that way. So I
yeah. I
suppose
agree.
mm, with the life coach situation, it's about life.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
and it's great. I'll be at your doorstep looking for that life coaching, and
Hey, I honestly would love to have you. Love to have you. And if there's any listeners or any viewers that are watching later on, if you're interested, you can always contact me. I'm always on Instagram at Temi Charlotte Oni.
Mhm,
So you're welcome to get in touch with me if you want, life coaching sessions.
mhm,
Alternatively, if you'd like to, understand more about the lifestyle redesign course,
mhm.
you can find more information about it at hemioni.thinkific/courses/lifestyle hyphen redesign. But I'm sure all of the handles and links Andrew will have
Mhm.
in the
We'll
description
live
box.
in the promised land. Yeah, yeah. I'll call it the promised land now on, and it's find yourselves there, and it's going to be up, and it's going on the radio. So we're gonna, I mean, access it, and get a hold of all your handles, and follow you, and see what you do and how you do, and where we can find you, and
Thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you for so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Mhm. Yep. So it's good. So I'll let you go if you want to go, or you want to stay, or you wanna go, because your presence just
Okay, well, thank you so much for having me. I've had so much fun here.
mm,
And I look forward to the next time.
the next time. Yeah,
All
we'll keep
right.
following you, and then if we find that there's new information that we need you to bring forth to our
Mm,
people here, our
yeah.
community, we'll bring you back, and then
Oh, I'd love to come back. That'd be
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. You're more than welcome. If
All right
anything,
then.
if you ever you also discover that, not, I think I will share this on that platform, man. Get in touch. Always reach out and say, listen, can we have that 1 hour conversation again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've enjoyed myself. I'd definitely love to come back. for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah. All right.
All
Then
right then.
take care for now.
All right then.
Yep.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Yep, it's the Lunchman Show. We had some fun with Tammy, and she's doing good, and she having a good time. And if want to check out her handles, they're down under below, and get in touch. And she's you know um, doing things big, and she's doing all these different things, the cosmetics and the life coaching, and it's all fun and nice till people get rich. So especially you guys that know him, and those that are with us and getting to know him and her, and or you can find this on our platforms and on my page, and you could replay the whole thing and get all the information that was said. I mean, most of the stuff that was said was vital, and it's really uh, crazy information. Like, you send things that you overlook, and you sort of think, hold on, this makes sense. And when something makes sense, it needs to make dollars. You know. But anyway, it's Andrew, and I'm signing out. Lunch Munch Show. Meet you tomorrow. Freestyle Friday. I hope y'all ready with your bars, and this time please show up, because I can't be out here outshining everybody out there. I know these people who can do good. So Freestyle Friday, whatever language, you do your acapellas, because we ain't here to. I'm like a dog, not on a leash. You know, I drop bars with no beat. So that's the lifestyle. Catch you guys tomorrow on the Lunch Match Show, having a good time. Thank you. Thank you guys. And I hope I see the comment section loading up after I leave. Take care of yourself.